Every time you disrespect yourself, you're gonna earn a stripe of being a bitch. And every time you disregard the responsibility and accountability of looking in that fucking mirror and understanding that your actions have consequences, and every time you take action towards something that is going to provide a deficit into your life, and then to pretend like you're depressed and to pretend like you have this false proclivity of being something you're not. You are not depressed. You are the individual who is putting on a mask to project that so people could feel bad for you, and you're really just a self-victimizing bitch. So understand that you only live once, and to be in this state of apathy, guilt, shame is really just to reveal your inner inadequacy and insecurity. So if you're tired of feeling like a bitch, get on the fucking ground and do your push-ups. Because there's people with less, there's people who go through more, and they do more than you. So while you remain a comfortable, attention-seeking piece of shit, you have to understand that there's people doing more than you without trying to seek attention. And understand that your intention is what's going to project the tensions of your mind, and within the tension of your mind is an underlying motive, and within that underlying motive are underlying motivation / reasons that cause you to act the way you do. So when we look at people who seek motivation, you don't need motivation. It's more like you're motivated to stay whatever the fuck that piece of shit bitch is in the fucking mirror. So before you say, I need motivation to not feel depressed, before you say, I need motivation to actually do something to add value to my fucking life and better my experience that I only get once, before you say you need motivation to go hit the workout so you could be in an optimal state of fucking bodily composition to actually do some shit instead of remain some inferior type shit, inferior hominid type shit, low level inadequate piece of shit, shoe level bitch type shit. Understand that you can make moves to better your life actively, and every time you disregard the responsibility of responding with ability and efficiently to get shit done, you're really just a bitch, and you're showing us what the fuck not to be. And so when I call you inferior, remember that inferior is just choosing less, because just like better or worse, if you're choosing less, you're inferior as fuck, especially when you get in the fucking eyes of a beast who only chooses more, hits the points, puts the points on the board, and shoots for more. All I do is score. And while you remain piss poor, bottom barrel scarce, we're just gonna represent what the fuck you're not, because you like to stay in this knot, all tangled up, quantumly entangled, and all this bullshit that does nothing but provide more hell for you to suffer in. So everyone wants to go to heaven when they die, but what the fuck are you doing when you're alive? And matter of fact, if you want to enjoy life and soak in the bliss of being enlightened to compensate for all that's been lost, then you're gonna have to look in the mirror and understand that if you're not gonna become a boss, you're gonna remain the type of piece of shit to stay where you are. So understand that you only live once, and I don't know why you need motivation, because that's the biggest motivation for certain individuals to get what they need done. And while you complain about all this shit, no one fucking gives a fuck about your fucking problems. And the only person that should give a fuck is you, and you should go about solving them. So I'm tired of all this societal conditioning while you fake this smile in front of all these people and you live your life in denial like this shit's a free trial, but really it's just a fucking escapade for what the fuck you're really trying to put on. This zonderness, this lackluster piece of shit you see in the mirror, to not do anything to fix that. It's to remain what the fuck you are. And again, to be alive is to be alive. Animated. If you're not animated, what the fuck are you even existing for? I mean, let's be real. If you're not in motive, if you're not in motion, if you're not moving with certainty, if you're not doing what you want to do in life, if you're not creating that reality in the best image of yourself, to give a fuck about what others have to think, because really when you look at them and you analyze what the fuck they are, they're really just less. Matter of fact, their life could be compared to a cricket, and let's not even get on the level of their fucking cognitive dissonance and conscious fucking lack of being able to perceive and apperceive and comprehend the fucking velocity of life. You have to understand that there's two types of individuals. The comprehensive man who understands there's only one life, there's only one mission, and he's gonna get this shit done until he hits the fucking casket. And if you're not gonna be that man, then get the fuck on the sideline. Because if it was back in ancient Roman times, we're the conquerors. We're the ones who take you down because you're too much of a bitch to put in the work. So you're either gonna put in the work of your life, or just like back in the old times, you're gonna remain a slave to the master who you serve by serving their business because they decided to put in the work. So I'm not gonna put on this sugar-coated fucking message for you to feel like you need to be motivated. It's like you're gonna make a move with your life, or you're gonna remember that you're a bitch and you chose that shit, because what's seen can never be unseen. And the message you hear, the velocity of your life that you're not trying to live, should literally invoke fear. Because you have to understand that all this time you've neglected, all this space you've occupied in the fucking universe, and to not inverse and influx and arithmetically master the existence of the material, to not actually become that individual you always needed by individuating into that individual, by looking deep within yourself to uncover that beauty, that inner essence that you lack. You're ugly as fuck, not just externally but internally, and you show us who you are deep within with every time you talk shit, every time you pretend to be something you're not, and every time you don't make the move you were born to make. So while you neglect that metaphysical pathway that's waiting for you to be fucking crystallized into a neuron, into a neurological pathway, every time you neglect that responsibility, just remember that you just wasted your life, and now you're gonna die a bitch. So you could either make the move, or you can stay whatever the fuck that is, but remember that you only live once. And I hope that fucking message corrodes your spine and mind, because for real, if you didn't even know, if you weren't even paying attention, your demise is sublime. And while you pretend to just go through life like there's no message, no inner sacredness to be fostered, to go through life as this inferior fucking hominid of what the fuck not to be, just remember that the life you could have had is just going to remain a dream. Now, link in the description, Mindset Mastery, and you better not let that fucking low vibration crevice your fucking mind and make you turn into something you're not, and to take away the power that you have within you. Because your beauty that you haven't uncovered is so beautiful when you get into that inner light, when you get into that spotlight, when you turn into the candlelight, when you become so fucking real, when you become that individual who just makes shit happen no matter the circumstance, when you look at yourself in the mirror and understand that you have absolute 100% power, you're imperial, you're unstoppable, you're undeniable, and you're fucking imperium. Now, every time you neglect to understand that you are the imperium of your life, you are the magnus opus, you are your own mini universe, you are the microcosmos in the cosmos, and to neglect the responsibility of being that shit by just remaining this comfort-seeking animal that can't even go through life without recognizing the fact you're addicted, you're broke, you're escaping your reality with the drugs, you're fat as fuck. What the fuck is going on with you? So make a move to better your life. And if you need help, link in the description, Mindset Coaching. You can join the community. You can also get the 1 week free program, and you can follow that routine to better your life, because it's all about transformation. And most people stay whatever the fuck that lackluster piece of shit in the mirror is. And I'm just going to make sure you don't become one of them, because they hate themselves so much that they'll look in the mirror, see some shit they don't want to be, and not put in the work to not be that shit. Peace.